It started like every other quiet night in the world of reality TV gossip until one post changed everything. Within minutes, social media timelines were flooded with whispers that Mendeecees Harris, husband of Yandy Smith, had allegedly crossed a line with none other than Sierra Gates. A single blurry photo surfaced showing them laughing together at a late-night event, but that was all it took for the internet to catch fire. Fans were stunned, bloggers jumped on the story, and before sunrise, Yandy's name was trending across every platform. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds of opinions and assumptions. Some called it harmless networking, while others were convinced that something deeper was going on behind the scenes. Every little gesture, every old clip from Love and Hip Hop was suddenly being reanalyzed, frame by frame, in search of hidden meaning. What did Sierra's smile mean? Why did Mendeecees look so comfortable? And more importantly, where was Yandy while all of this was happening? As more so-called sources claimed insider knowledge, the story took on a life of its own. Screenshots from old group chats, anonymous tips, and recycled footage from past seasons were used as evidence in this social media courtroom. Even celebrities and influencers began chiming in, dropping cryptic emojis that only fueled the frenzy. The story spread faster than anyone could control, and suddenly it wasn't just a rumor, it was a full-blown scandal. Fans begged Yandy for a response, tagging her in every post, while others went digging through Sierra's old interviews for clues about her type. Within 24 hours, what started as gossip had turned into the week's biggest entertainment storm, leaving everyone asking the same question. Was this just another internet exaggeration, or had one of reality TV's most admired marriages finally cracked under pressure? What made the rumor even more believable was how naturally the story seemed to unfold. Just weeks before the chaos, Mendeecees and Sierra had reportedly teamed up for a business collaboration tied to an upcoming beauty and lifestyle project, something that, on paper, looked completely innocent. The two had been spotted together at industry mixers, charity events, and influencer launches, often exchanging friendly banter for the cameras. Fans initially praised the partnership, calling it a smart move and a power play for both. But when a photo of them having dinner at an upscale Atlanta restaurant surfaced just the two of them, no team or crew in sight, the tone shifted overnight. Blogs began to question why Yandy wasn't present, and rumors quickly evolved from business meeting to secret date. The internet did what it always does best: connect dots that may or may not exist. Within hours, timelines were filled with side-by-side comparisons of body language, speculative captions, and theories suggesting that the two had grown too close for comfort. Insiders claimed that what started as professional chemistry had turned into something emotionally complicated. Screenshots, allegedly showing late-night texts and private hangouts, began circulating in group chats and gossip forums. A few claimed to have seen Mendeecees and Sierra together more than once without cameras around, sparking whispers that Yandy might have already known something was off. Fans recalled how Mendeecees had once praised Sierra publicly, calling her a real one and someone who understands the grind, comments that now sounded more loaded than supportive. Even minor details like matching accessories or similar Instagram captions were dissected for hidden meaning. As the chatter grew louder, both Mendeecees and Sierra chose to remain silent, which only poured gasoline on the fire. The absence of denial was treated like confirmation. Bloggers labeled them too comfortable, while fan pages began posting emotional reels showing Yandy's most vulnerable moments, painting her as the unknowing wife betrayed once again. The narrative had shifted completely. What was once a simple business move was now being painted as the beginning of an emotional or perhaps romantic entanglement. And though no proof had surfaced, the court of public opinion had already made its verdict clear. Something about Mendeecees and Sierra just didn't feel like business anymore. As the rumors spiraled out of control, Yandy Smith's silence became the loudest noise on the internet. Known for her composure and polished public image, her sudden withdrawal from social media sent shockwaves through her fan base. For days, there were no posts, no stories, Not even her usual motivational quotes or brand updates, just complete stillness. That silence spoke volumes to fans who had followed her journey from day one. Then came the paparazzi photos. Yandy, spotted leaving a studio in New York, dressed casually but visibly tense, eyes hidden behind oversized sunglasses. Commenters instantly turned detectives, zooming in on her body language and expressions. Was she hurt, angry, heartbroken? Every small move was interpreted as evidence that the rumors might actually be true. When she finally did post, it wasn't a statement, but a cryptic quote. "Sometimes peace comes after the truth breaks you." That single line ignited a new wave of speculation, with blogs dissecting its meaning and fans flooding her comments with messages of support and sorrow. Meanwhile, eagle-eyed followers noticed that Yandy had quietly unfollowed Ciara on Instagram, a digital move that, in today's world, felt like an official declaration of war. Mendeecees' own page also became a battlefield of comments, with fans demanding answers and others defending him, calling it all blog-made drama. But insiders claimed things behind the scenes weren't looking good. Allegedly, Yandy had confronted Mendeecees about the whispers, and though he denied everything, sources close to the couple described growing tension in the household. Once a united front, they were now rarely seen together. Even their usual joint appearances and business promotions seemed to have paused abruptly. To make matters worse, one of Yandy's close friends posted a cryptic story that read, "When loyalty becomes a one-way street, it's time to change directions." That post vanished within minutes, but not before fans grabbed screenshots and tied it directly to Yandy's situation. What had started as an online rumor was now bleeding into real life, and for the first time in years, Yandy looked like a woman fighting silent battles behind the glow of her public strength. Just when everyone thought the storm couldn't get any wilder, the internet was rocked by a new explosive twist, a viral blog post claiming that Ciara Gates might be pregnant, and the alleged father was none other than Mendeecees Harris. Within minutes, screenshots of the headline spread across social media like wildfire. The post included blurry photos of Ciara at what appeared to be a doctor's office, clutching paperwork and wearing an oversized hoodie, the universal outfit for hiding something. Gossip pages ran with it instantly, labeling it the biggest love and hip-hop scandal of the year. Fans flooded the comments, torn between disbelief and outrage. "This can't be real," one wrote, while another said, "If this is true, Yandy deserves so much better." By midday, the rumor had evolved into a frenzy of live discussions, podcast reactions, and YouTube breakdowns dissecting every detail. One gossip vlogger even claimed to have a source close to Ciara, who confirmed that she had been seeing someone special for months, a statement that only deepened suspicions. Meanwhile, Ciara's Instagram activity didn't help. She had posted a now-deleted story captioned, "God's timing is never wrong," which fans immediately took as confirmation of the rumor. Yandy, however, remained silent, which only made the situation more painful to watch. Insiders described her as devastated, but trying to keep her dignity. Friends allegedly urged her to take time off social media, while others said she had broken down privately after hearing the news. Mendeecees' response, or rather his lack of one, sent the internet into overdrive. He didn't address the claims directly, but fans noticed him liking motivational quotes about staying strong and ignoring false energy. That selective silence only made things worse. Some interpreted it as guilt, others as restraint, but in either case, it kept his name at the center of every headline. Gossip sites began speculating timelines, analyzing Ciara's appearances, and even calculating potential due dates. A few tried to dismiss the story as pure fabrication, pointing out that the photos could have been old or misinterpreted, but the damage was already done. By evening, the internet had officially split into two camps, Team Yandy and Team Ciara. Hashtags like Sanjur Protect Yandy and Ciara Speaks trended side by side, symbolizing the digital civil war playing out in real time. Fans demanded receipts, bloggers demanded interviews, and everyone demanded answers. And while no one could say for sure if Ciara was really expecting or if Mendeecees had anything to do with it, one thing was certain: the scandal had reached a point of no return. What began as whispers of inappropriate closeness had exploded into a full-blown narrative of betrayal, heartbreak, and irreversible consequences that could shatter reputations and relationships in one viral blow. The pregnancy rumor turned the internet into a digital battlefield, unlike anything the love and hip-hop universe had seen before. Overnight, fans split into warring factions, Team Yandy and Team Sierra, each armed with their own receipts, opinions, and outrage. Comment sections became war zones, with people dissecting every screenshot, video clip, and emoji like detectives solving a national mystery. Memes flooded the timeline, some mocking Mendeecees for fumbling a real one, others defending him as a victim of internet exaggeration. Twitter Spaces filled up with heated debates about loyalty, marriage, and the girl code, while bloggers released back-to-back videos claiming to have exclusive updates. One side painted Yandy as the heartbroken wife who had given everything to a man that didn't deserve her. The other portrayed Sierra as misunderstood, a woman caught in a storm of lies and assumptions. Even celebrities began subtly picking sides with cryptic tweets and emojis that fans quickly decoded as shade. The atmosphere online grew so toxic that both Yandy and Sierra disabled their comment sections, but by then it was too late. The internet had already decided it owned their story. Hashtags like "Jai's Justice for Yandy," "Sierra did what?" and "Mendeecees mess" trended for days, fueling more drama with each retweet. Some fans even went as far as digging up old episodes, claiming they saw red flags years ago that predicted this exact outcome. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It had become a cultural conversation about trust, fame, and the blurred lines between reality TV and real life. Everyone wanted to know, if the rumors were fake, why wasn't anyone clearing the air? And if they were true, how could something so private fall apart so publicly? In just a few chaotic days, what began as fan curiosity had turned into full-blown chaos, leaving reputations hanging in the balance and millions watching to see who would speak first and who would fall hardest. As the noise reached deafening levels, all eyes turned to Mendeecees, who found himself at the center of a storm he could no longer ignore. Fans demanded answers, bloggers flooded his DMs, and every move he made online was tracked in real time. Yet instead of addressing the scandal directly, Mendeecees went quiet, posting gym clips, business quotes, and vague captions about protecting peace. To the public, it felt tone-deaf, almost defiant. Comments under his posts exploded with accusations, heartbreak, and disbelief. "You really did Yandy like this?" One fan wrote, while another said, "If it's not true, say it." But the silence only made the narrative grow louder. Allegedly, insiders close to the couple claimed Yandy had confronted him privately, demanding honesty, but Mendeecees stood firm in denial, insisting the rumors were nothing more than clickbait lies. Still, sources described tension between them as unbearable. Yandy reportedly moved out temporarily, while he tried to maintain an image of calm control. The public wasn't buying it. Bloggers released old interviews where he'd spoken about temptation and trust, using his own words against him. Even worse, a video clip resurfaced from a Love and Hip Hop reunion where he'd once said, "Men mess up when they start feeling unappreciated," sparking debates about whether that mindset had come back to haunt him. Meanwhile, Sierra kept her distance, refusing to post anything beyond promotional content. Her silence, too, was interpreted as guilt. Some fans claimed they'd seen Mendeecees moving out of the family home, while others swore he was spotted at a friend's condo in Atlanta. Whether true or not, the rumor snowballed until it felt undeniable. Public sentiment began to shift from confusion to condemnation, no longer just gossip, but judgment. Even fellow castmates began chiming in, offering veiled comments about respect and choices, which everyone knew were aimed at him. Mendeecees, once seen as a reformed family man and pillar of strength, was suddenly being painted as the villain of the story. No statement, no denial, no interview could stop the narrative now. The internet had already decided his guilt. What he didn't seem to realize, however, was that silence in the face of speculation doesn't equal peace. It only gives the storm more room to grow. And as days passed with no resolution, Mendeecees' image, once built on redemption and loyalty, began to crumble, one unanswered rumor at a time. As the scandal dragged on, the emotional weight of it all became impossible to ignore. Yandy, once the picture of composure and strength, was reportedly struggling to keep it together behind closed doors. Sources close to her described late nights, tearful conversations, and a woman who felt betrayed not just by her husband, but by someone she had once considered a friend. Her silence, once viewed as dignity, now looked like heartbreak in slow motion. Meanwhile, Sierra's every move was being watched like a hawk. She began posting cryptic quotes about growth, letting go, and new beginnings, none of which mentioned Mendeecees directly, but every one of them was interpreted as a message to him or Yandy. Fans filled her, comments with questions she refused to answer, and though she didn't address the pregnancy rumor, she also didn't deny it, fueling even more confusion. When she finally appeared in a short Instagram live, she avoided gossip altogether, instead talking about protecting her peace and not explaining yourself to people who want to misunderstand you. Her calm tone and unapologetic attitude split the internet once again. Some praised her for staying classy, while others accused her of deflecting. Yandy, on the other hand, seemed to channel her pain into focus, throwing herself into charity work and business events, even if the smile on her face looked a little forced. Mendeecees was noticeably absent from her side, a fact fans quickly noticed and questioned. Insiders whispered that she had started reevaluating everything, even considering separation if the tension didn't ease. The emotional fallout wasn't just public, it was deeply personal, tearing at the roots of friendships, loyalty, and trust that had taken years to build. What hurt fans the most was knowing how deeply Yandy had stood by Mendeecees through his past hardships, from his legal troubles to his redemption journey. Now, to see her possibly on the receiving end of betrayal felt like a cruel twist of fate. Sierra's quiet confidence only added to the heartbreak. Whether she was guilty or innocent, her calmness made it hard to tell. And as both women continued to move in silence, the world was left watching two completely different kinds of strength unfold. One fighting to hold everything together, and the other walking away without looking back. After weeks of silence, confusion, and chaos, Mendeecees finally decided to speak, but not through a press statement or interview. Instead, he went live on Instagram late one evening, instantly drawing tens of thousands of viewers within minutes. The comments section lit up like fireworks, filled with fans demanding the truth. Mendeecees appeared calm but heavy-eyed, his tone measured and careful, as if each word was chosen to avoid another explosion. He began by acknowledging that he'd made some mistakes and allowed things to look a certain way they shouldn't have. Though he stopped short of confirming any affair, his vagueness only made the audience lean in closer. Sometimes people see things and run with them, he said, but that doesn't mean everything you hear is true. Still, his attempt to balance honesty with denial didn't land well with everyone. Many viewers felt his words were an indirect confession, an emotional admission without responsibility. He spoke about protecting his family, learning to move differently, and not letting the internet dictate his peace, but noticeably avoided saying Sierra's name or denying her pregnancy outright. When asked directly by a commenter about Yandy, his voice wavered slightly as he said, "Yandy knows where my heart is, and that's what matters." That one sentence became the headline of the night. Within minutes, clips from the live flooded social media. Blogs dissected every pause, every blink, every tone shift, while fan pages posted side-by-side comparisons of his statements versus his past interviews about loyalty. Some fans felt sorry for him, claiming he looked genuinely broken. Others accused him of manipulating public sympathy instead of telling the truth. Yandy didn't respond directly, but she posted a simple black square on her page with the caption, "When love costs your peace, it's too expensive." That post became an anthem across the internet, shared thousands of times by people who saw their own pain in her silence. Sierra, on the other hand, stayed completely offline, not even acknowledging the live, which only added more mystery to her side of the story. The public's reaction was deeply divided. Some believed Mendeecees had tried to take accountability in his own way, while others called it a performance, another reality TV moment staged for damage control. But one thing everyone agreed on: the Mendeecees who went live that night wasn't the confident, unshakable man fans once knew. He looked like someone carrying the weight of regret, confusion, and the realization that the truth, whatever it was, had already escaped his control. In the days following the live, the noise slowly began to fade, but the damage was already carved deep. Yandy and Mendeecees appeared to go their separate ways publicly, no longer seen together at events or in posts. The brand deals they once shared quietly disappeared from their timelines, and fans noticed the absence of family-centered content that used to fill their feeds. Yandy seemed to channel her pain into purpose, throwing herself into philanthropy and women's empowerment projects, often speaking about healing through growth without naming names. Her followers flooded her comments with love and support, calling her strength inspirational. Meanwhile, Mendeecees kept a low profile, showing up occasionally in photos with friends, but avoiding all mention of the controversy. His once vibrant online presence dimmed to a handful of cautious posts about self-reflection and becoming a better man. Sierra continued to move in silence, neither confirming nor denying anything. But fans noticed her subtle rebranding: new photo shoots, business launches, and captions about new beginnings that felt like her own quiet way of moving past the chaos. Yet despite everyone's attempt to move forward, the questions refused to die. Was the pregnancy rumor ever true? Did Yandy and Mendeecees reconcile behind the scenes? And if they did, could trust ever truly return? The internet had grown tired of waiting for answers, but the emotional residue of the scandal lingered. Fans who had once celebrated Yandy and Mendeecees as the embodiment of loyalty and endurance now viewed them through a lens of caution, proof that even the strongest love can fracture under pressure. Some called it karma, others called it growth, but one thing was clear: everyone involved had been changed. The silence that followed wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, filled with lessons, regrets, and unresolved emotions. Yandy's strength had earned her new respect. Mendeecees' reputation had taken a hit he might never fully recover from, and Sierra's name remained synonymous with controversy, whether she deserved it or not. The chapter had closed, but the story didn't feel finished. It left behind a haunting question. When love, loyalty, and image collide in the public eye, does anyone truly come out unscathed? And there you have it, the story that shook the internet, tested loyalty, and blurred the line between truth and perception. Was this all just a rumor that spiraled out of control, or a reality check hiding behind carefully crafted silence? Only those involved know the real story. But one thing's for sure, the fallout will echo for a long time. What do you think? Was Mendeecees misunderstood? Or did Yandy finally see the truth she'd been avoiding? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talk and deep dives into the drama.